Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Tyler here, bringing you some more College Football 26 today. It is episode 29 of the Cal Rebuild here in the online Dynasty. But yeah, man, if you missed the last couple episodes, we finished up year 2. Some crazy games, crazy finishes. Cal able to bring home their first ever ACC title. And then a tough loss at home in round 1 of the playoffs, man. A double overtime game against Arizona State. But yeah, man, we'll get some updates on how the playoffs finished out and stuff like that. And we'll, dive into the offseason with recruiting and transfer portal. And just gotta hope that somehow we're able to hold on to as many players as possible. Unfortunately, still can't look at, recruiting at all right now. We only have, I believe, 6 commits going into the offseason, which, by the end of last season, I think I already had around 11 or 13 maybe. But, yeah, so definitely got some work to do this offseason recruiting-wise, and really worried we might lose a couple of our best players to that portal, man. We'll see what happens, but I just have a bad feeling. Just a quick look at the staff to start. We're not making any changes. I probably should have changed my DC, but we'll run them one more year, and then we'll probably make a change after that. Unless we improve a bunch, then maybe we'll keep it as is. But yeah, we'll keep Deshaun Foster for sure for now. He's not that great real life, but as far as for this game, he's a level 33 master motivator, and with C+ grade there, it's not bad, and has the Southern Cal pipeline and whatnot. So yeah, I'm fine with keeping him. It's just probably should have made a change at DC, but oh well. But yeah, we'll give you an update on these playoffs. The national championship still has to be played. But as you can see, like I said, we lost at home in round 1 to Arizona State 41-43. And just a reminder that these are all, users. Definitely, other than Toledo, because, we're all in the Power 4 conferences and whatnot. But, yeah, definitely some good games, some blowouts. Arizona State ended up moving on to play Texas, and they lost by 3 in a close one. And then Louisville actually took the loss to Missouri. I was very surprised there. Both teams really good, but just thought Louisville would get it done. ACC did not get any members to the semifinals, which is dominated by SEC schools and just one Big Ten school. But yeah, South Carolina whooped up on Rutgers in the quarterfinal, and Indiana smoked North Carolina. And then Indiana won a close one against South Carolina. And Texas, 14-7, low-scoring game against Missouri to advance to the Natty. So Texas against Indiana, definitely a wild matchup, man. But, yeah, I think Indiana will get the win. Probably be a high-scoring game if I had to guess. Even though the semifinal games were lower scoring, I think this one will get up there. But, yeah, I think Indiana will win. But yeah, either way, next year the ACC's got to have a better showing. At least we got 3 teams in, but we got to get someone to the semifinal at least, right? And a quick look at those rankings again at the end. Just a couple of the teams that might have, felt that they got snubbed. Pitt was ranked 12th, but that highest ranked champion from the group of 5 gets that spot, which ended up being Toledo. Which Tulane is ranked higher than Toledo, of course, but guess what? Tulane lost their conference championship game, and so did Boise. Both of them would have made it had they won their conference championship game, but instead Toledo ended up in as, the MAC winner. Why is Penn State ranked 8 and 5? That's insane. But, yeah, a couple other users there, Tech and West Virginia, 10 and 3, solid years. Guessing that means they won their bowl games because they probably finished 9 and 3. BYU played a ton of games because they ended up losing the Big 12 title game to Arizona State, and that's what kept him out of the playoff. TCU also, we lost to them during the regular season, 3-loss team. But yeah, quite a few teams that were just right there. It's just tough with all these users, man. That's why there ends up being so many teams with 2 and 3 losses. Indiana, the lone undefeated. I mean, heck, there ain't even any 1-loss teams. That's wild. And just in case you're interested in any of the All-Americans and all that stuff, I did go over that last episode, so make sure you go check that out if you missed it and wanted to see those. But yeah, we're not gonna really mess around too much more with this previous year. We gotta put it behind us now. We gotta move forward. And yeah, we'll keep it going once we find out who won that national championship, and then we'll be into the off season. And that playoff berth with Toledo was enough to get Jason Candle the head coach job at Michigan. Huh? That's wild. Pretty sure that they got rid of Sharon Moore after the first year and hired Sark. And now Sark is at Florida State. Oh, goodness. Lane Kiffin to Oklahoma? Jeez Louise. Coach Carousel going wild. Brent Venables to Oklahoma State. Come on, man. Matt Campbell to Stanford. That's a crazy downgrade, but got to pay attention to that now as he's in our conference, and the ACC might have Stanford looking a little better. Also, quickly wanted to mention, in case you missed last time, also Desmond James did break a single season record here at Cal with 15 touchdowns on the season. I did look, and he ended up finishing 3rd for receiving yards. So yeah, man, very nice seeing that. He does have 1 year of eligibility remaining. Will he go to the draft early, or will he hit the portal? Will he stay? I don't know. We'll have to find out. That's the main thing, though, is him and Sagapolutele. Definitely need those two to stay. It's just definitely don't feel great about it, man. I think at least one of them, maybe both of them, are gone. Also looked at those season stats last time as well, so make sure you go check that out if you wanted to see all that stuff. Like I said, man, most of this is going to be all about moving forward into this offseason and into year 3. Alright, so the Natty was a solid one, man. Indiana ends up representing the Big Ten, showing out, getting the dub. I think the final score was 28-23 or something like that. But yeah, man, Indiana took down Texas. So we'll go ahead and load in here and see the players leaving, man. See who's trying to hit that portal. Hopefully no one too crazy, but as you know, I've said, I'm expecting possibly a big name or two here, so let's see what happens. Make sure you hit that like button for me too, and subscribe if you're new. It's much appreciated, man. This Cal rebuild's been a solid first couple of years. Definitely did not expect to make the playoffs here in year 2, like I said, but year 3, definitely gonna depend on what we do in this transfer portal, of course. I think we might be okay. I don't know. Let's see. I might be all right here. No. I knew it. No way. Huh. There's no way. Sagapolutele is gonna hit the portal. I was worried about it for that pro potential, man. It's a deal breaker for him now, and our grade is just super low. I mean, come on, look at Rodgers and Jared Goff. The thing is it's nothing recent, and since it hasn't been anything too recent, the grade is terrible. And yeah, you see it there, persuasion chance is very low. So yeah, it looks like the JKS era in Berkeley might be over, man. But I mean, thankfully there's not a whole lot here. We still have Brian Ridge, who is, pretty similar ratings as JKS, just not as mobile, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely wish Sagapolutele would stay. I would love to keep it going with him for another year or two. Thankfully, Desmond James is still here. But DJ Pickett is going to transfer. You don't like the playing style? I mean, all right, man, go ahead, do your thing. He's a zone archetype, but has very good speed, so I don't know. We'll let him go. I still have plenty of good corners here for at least another year. Definitely sucks losing Huddle, or however you say his name. He's pretty dang good. But another thing for pro potential, man, so that sucks. He was definitely going to be starting this next year. Finnegan, brand exposure. Oh, come on now. You're really worried about that, Finnegan? This is a guy that I was thinking about possibly moving to the edge rusher spot since we, lost out on a lot of the recruits. And, yeah, so he's going to possibly leave. It says there's a high persuasion chance. I think I can try to get, 2... Oh, I have 8 persuasions now, so I could definitely try every single player at this point. I'm just glad there's not a lot. There's a lot more players trying to hit it. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Okay, I was worried Desmond James was going to leave early for the draft or something crazy. But yeah, thankfully, I wish they would have let a couple other guys get drafted. Like Samaj Parker, would have been nice to see him get drafted. Raphael not getting drafted? Are you kidding me? How are they not going to let him get drafted? Even Vaticani and Wayne possibly should have been drafted, I think. I can understand Dunn not being there, but Stanford should have been, possibly even Ruffins as well. But finally, somebody is projected to be drafted. TJ Bush Jr., the edge rusher. You already know the deal. He was a dog. Much more in year 1 than year 2, but it was still solid. But he's projected to go round 3, so that'll be nice. We definitely need to get some more people drafted. Would have been nice to see Uluave and maybe Bell. Wilkins is solid too, but he just didn't play much, so... Yeah, we definitely need to start getting some more players drafted because, here it is. The pro potential is killing us. Losing out on 2 starters. Sagapolutele is possible, is going to be like a Heisman candidate next season possibly, man. So this is definitely not good. And I'm going to have to go ahead and try to bring him back. I'm not worried about these are the 2 quarterbacks that I added late last year through the out of the high school ranks. A couple 3 stars that weren't great by any means, but they have elite development, which is the thing. So they want playing time, of course, so that's why they're dipping. I mean, I could probably get at least one of them to stay, but they wouldn't be playing either way. Yeah, let's just go ahead and stop wasting time. Let's see if JKS will come back. Very low persuasion chance, so I highly doubt it works, but we got to try it. We got to see if we can get JKS to come back. Let's go! Sagapolutele has decided to stay! Thank the Lord! Let's go! Let's go! The Berkeley fans rejoice. The NIL funds must be flowing Skittles at an all-time high. Let's go. Let's go. All right. I'm very surprised that worked, but thank the Lord. I'll try and bring Pickett back. Might as well. Don't think it's going to work, but let's see. Not persuaded, but yeah, we have all those available, so we might as well do it. Wow, Huddle decides to stay. That's huge. I have a lot of skill points to use with him, but he's one of those players where I changed positions, and I don't know if it was already like this, but all his caps are screwed. So he could be an even higher overall, but the caps are just done. So I don't know what to really do there. He's a redshirt freshman. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy could literally end up being 90s easily. But with all these caps, and I can't use these 14 skill points, like, he could already be 85-ish. Like, oh man, he could be something real special, and I just don't know if it's because I changed positions or what. He was originally at left guard, so I don't know. From now on, we gotta be careful with the switching position stuff. Alright, we'll definitely try to bring Finnegan back. Come on, man, you might as well. Oh, he has not been persuaded. Definitely had a higher chance. See what I'm saying? Had the very low chance with Sagapolutele, but got that to work. I kind of let these QBs go, but at the same time, with that elite dev trait, you never know. They could end up being solid. Pinheiro decides to stay, so I mean, that's all right. We'll let Robledo go. Might as well. We're not gonna keep 4 quarterbacks next year. No reason to. We'll still have 3. Or no, we'll still have 4. Say we'd have 5 if I bring Robledo back. We'll just let him go. That's all right. Pretty similar players between him and Pinheiro. Pinheiro's just a little bit taller. But yeah. That's it for players leaving. Huge news, man. JKS staying in Berkeley. That is big time, folks. Cal still going to be a playoff contender going forward. Because without him, you never know. Things that could have started a whole sort of movement, man. I don't know. But with him staying, that's big time and should help with more recruiting in the offseason going forward. Right, we're hitting that first week of the transfer portal recruiting here in the offseason, heading into year 3. Let's check things out. Remember, you still got recruiting for the high school ranks as well to finish up. Only had 6 commits heading into the offseason. So definitely a much lower number than, last year. We had, I think, 11 or 13 heading into the offseason, so we'll see what happens. But of course, the big news was getting JKS to stay. Thought he was gonna, get paid big time elsewhere. But, the Skittles NIL bag opened up some more. Might have went on another ayahuasca trip with Aaron Rodgers, but hey, either way, all I know is he's staying here in Berkeley for another run, trying to get back to those playoffs, and maybe, possibly win a natty. But yeah, finally a drafted player here. We get TJ Bush Jr., the edge rusher, goes in round 3. Love seeing that. Hopefully we can get some more players, each year. Hopefully, it ends up being a few players drafted each year. But yeah, we'll go ahead and dive in. Check out the transfer portal and off-season recruiting, all that good stuff. Our class, like I said, we only have 6 commits, so we're not very high in the rankings, but we do have a 5-star and 4 4-stars, and then a 3-star. So we'll see if we can add to it. Yeah, see, we just don't have enough commits to be up high. We're probably in the 50s. Okay, 45 is not bad. Okay, we're at 7 now. I must have missed a guy that committed. Yeah, I think I missed that Atagwe committed. Or maybe I'm just forgetting that happened. But hey, Atagwe, that other Will linebacker. We already had 1 committed, but Atagwe is also committed now. So 7 commits with 1 5-star, 5 4-stars, and a 3-star. So yeah, definitely just need some more numbers. Just don't have enough. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here in the offseason. 34 stars going to Georgia is ridiculous. Like, come on, save some for the rest of us. Like, that's insane. I don't like this. When you go to the rosters, it still shows all the seniors and stuff. Everyone should be gone now. But it doesn't even have the updated classes yet. At least the players we lost to the portal are no longer listed, but I don't like how it's not updated now. But either way, I'll run through it real quick. Just to see kind of, what positions we gotta, attack. We'll still be set at QB for next year. I am going to, look at that in the, during the year for recruiting next year, but as far as this offseason, definitely not worried about it since JKS is staying, and then, Ridge still a pretty solid backup. Pretty much has the same ratings. It's just not as quick. But, yeah, definitely solid backup there. We got a good QB room, pretty young still. But, yeah, we'll definitely recruit that hard next season. Raphael Sr. will be gone, of course, so a ton of young running backs left, and we have a couple coming in, or just the one, right? Yeah, Hugh Wilkins, the athlete, 4-star, already committed, so we should be good at running back, and then we'll just probably look at it more next year as well. If there's any crazy high, transfer guy that I can possibly grab, maybe we'll do it, but I wouldn't mind running with Holyfield, Priestley, and Popo as our 3 guys next year. But, yeah. What was that? Fullback still say we're still good there. Receivers. We lose King, of course. But other than that, everyone is back. So we should be fine at the receiver spot. I am definitely not looking to add anyone there. Unless, someone's interested that has some crazy speed or something, but I think we're pretty set. Tight end Samaj Parker was a huge transfer pickup last year for this season, so it'll suck not having him no more, but Marshall, Minnie, and Arcadera all staying for their final seasons. They'll all play a decent amount. Minnie's the fastest of them all, so maybe he'll end up being the one that starts, but I do like that Marshall has some physical abilities, and I think that his catching is better. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but both of them will probably play a good amount. And I do have that Kevin Durant coming in, that 3-star committed, so not going to worry about tight end in the portal at all. If anything, I'll just have to look at it next season. Tackle, we're bringing in a 5-star. Already got Randall Lincoln committed. And other than that, we're pretty set at tackle. Lang, I ended up redshirted after he did play 4 games. But other than that, we do graduate all of our starters because Morrow is not a starter there. The Vaticani Sr., gone. Ruffins Sr., gone. Owens, the Junior, okay, my bad. I thought they was all seniors. Either way, I wanted to replace him. Remember, I was talking about it because he was definitely the worst of the group. Would love to start someone over him this year. It'll most likely happen. But yeah, the 2 tackles on the outside, Bell and Davis, were really good this year. So it sucks losing them. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I should be okay on the line still. It just might not be I don't know. It just might be a little sketchy at times. Once they get some experience throughout the season, though, I think it'll be better. But yeah, we don't really need to look at these positions as far as the transfer portal. I pretty much have the players in place to take over those starting spots. But yeah, it's going to suck not having Bush anymore, going to the draft, picked in the 3rd round. Ford could definitely be solid there. Just wish he was a little bit faster. But, he's got star development, so after the training and stuff throughout the offseason, he might, be a little more viable to start. And then we lose Wayne on the other side as well. Definitely be interesting to see what we end up doing at that position. At D tackle, we got Wynn and Jericho Johnson leading the way. They'll be starting the next couple of years. Wilkins and Thomas gone. Robinson, a junior, will be going into his last year now. 6'6", 310. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty set on the defensive side. You know, we lose Uluave. But I like Jimmy Shembo that we're bringing in, that 4-star. He's got 86 speed, so I think he might play a lot to start right away. But we'll have to see what happens. Chuck Gage might be the one that ends up starting. He's got 83 speed, so we'll see how he develops with the training throughout this offseason. But yeah, we lose Finnegan, which sucked because I was going to move him to the edge and he was going to start and probably be a beast. McCullough might end up being the guy that I move to the edge, even though he's probably more of like that actual middle linebacker type of guy, but I might be able to get away with putting McCullough on the edge. Kind of wish he had a little bit more weight to him for that though. I mean, hell, his block shedding's 81. Power moves 81, finesse moves 85. Oh yeah. I think McCullough's definitely going to be starting on the edge next year. We'll worry about that when we go to position changes. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. He's a senior. He's gone. I'm dumb. That's my bad. Oh, that sucks. Definitely got to figure out what we're doing at that spot. Remember, I missed out on quite a few 5-stars at both middle linebacker and them edge spots. Just recruiting just didn't go as well. Shot for the stars, but you know, ended up with some solid players, just not as many as we wanted. Of course, DJ Pickett transfers, which sucks, but we'll still have Xavier Brown for one more year. Palmer's gone. He's graduated. So you'll see, you know, Young has been starting the first couple of years here that we've been at Cal, so he'll definitely probably move to the outside with Wagner probably being in that slot spot, but we'll see what ends up happening. I'm not sure exactly how we'll line things up yet, but Brown definitely will stay on the outside. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We got plenty of corners though, so yeah, we're not really looking for none of that. But safeties, we might need one. I do have Brazil coming in from the high school recruits, but if I can find one that could be a big impact player off the rip to start on the other side of Beni Valu, then we'll definitely look to do that. Because yeah, Sanford, you know, we moved him around a lot last year. He was more of the strong safety and even played like middle linebacker a little bit. Ended up being an All-American, had the big pick 6 in the playoff game. But yeah, him and Dunn being gone sucks. Dunn definitely not as good as I wanted him to be, but being 6'5" on that back end was big time. Ended up having quite a few nice interceptions for us. Just wasn't quick enough. And speaking of not being quick enough, that's the one thing with Beni Valu. Hopefully he develops that speed. But yeah, we're set at kicker for another couple of years. You know, with Murray, I just wish he had a little bit more power because can't even make it from 55. Well, 55 maybe if we got a little bit of wind, but with no wind, 54 and in is good. After, you know, during this next season, I'll definitely see if I can go after a kicker. Punter will be set because, you know, this guy's graduating, but Kern is still here. So he'll be solid for a few years. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And let's go ahead and see the portal. See what kind of stuff we want to target. See who's interested in all that good stuff. Got 1,200 hours to work with here in the off season. Of course, I still have to remember to look at, you know, the high school stuff still. So I'm probably gonna need some space on the board. So we'll go ahead and take off the players that we missed out on. Dobbs was another running back that was a 5-star that we missed out on. But yeah, let's yeah, Mateo, that sucked missing out on the 4-star center. Really wanted him. But yeah, I think we'll end up being able to get at least 1 or 2 of these 3-stars. Should be solid. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm just faded or what. Maybe I missed it or there was like a certain advanced spot where I didn't see it. But yeah, Tagwe did finally commit. Love seeing that. Another 4-star linebacker. Again, I said earlier, Shemba more likely to play right away, where Otagwe might have to redshirt for a year, but that's alright, man. You'll end up being a stud eventually out of Portland, Oregon. So yeah, love seeing that. Alright, so not a whole lot of interest out here. You know, guessing a lot of these guys are wanting to go places they can play. And, you know, other than these 4-stars, a lot of the guys probably wouldn't have much of a chance. But, hey, we got a couple of edge rushers here. You know, I was talking about that a lot, so we'll go ahead and add them to the board and see what we can do there. Not really interested in a receiver, but he's a speedster, so it wouldn't hurt to add more speed, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's worth the shot to at least look at him. I mean, might as well add him, right? If he wants to come here. Teague Anderson, I feel like with the raw strength archetype, this guy's not going to be good, but I'll at least give it a look. I don't think I really need to add a tackle. No, never mind. Yeah, let's not even worry about that. I don't need to add a tackle. Come on now. Alright, 4-star corner Andre Jordan Jr. We'll go ahead and give him a look. Might as well. Say if he's got speed, it wouldn't hurt to add him. You know, the user games definitely need as much speed out there as possible. So I'm surprised, but that's literally, these are the only players that was interested. So I'm probably going to add at least a few more to the board and just try to get them interested, but I don't know. Might not be adding too many more players. Interesting to see Brandon Hyde Jr.'s back in the portal. If he was watching during year one, he was one of our go-to guys whenever Raphael would get tired. Brandon Hyde Jr. had a lot of good moments for us in that first season. He, you know, bounced to SMU, and then things ended up not going well there. And now he's back in the portal. I wouldn't mind bringing him back, but the thing is that's what we got Holyfield for, basically to fill that hole. That was his role, being that bruiser back. So if I were to add it back, it would have to be someone that has insane speed or something. I just figured I'd mention that though. One of our old players that left is now in the portal again. Alright, so I'm actually not really targeting too many transfers right now. I might end up throwing a couple more on the board, but only a few of these guys are even interested, and then I added a couple of safeties. I might end up adding another edge rusher if I don't think I can get Jones, but you know, we'll scout just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that this guy will be good. Yeah, definitely solid there. So we'll offer that scholarship out of Las Vegas, Nevada, the power rusher. And then Isaiah Hunter, the receiver from Nebraska. Not super worried about this, but wouldn't mind adding it, you know? Why not? Okay, when it says his archetype is speedster, I'm thinking a little more than 91. Like, it's not bad, trust me, but oh, hold on. What I like though is the route runnings and the catching. Holy shit. Why is his archetype speedster when all of his catching and route running is better? 98 spec catch? Yeah, run this. I say have him and James on the outsides with Grays in the slot, or maybe even keep Grays on the outside and go Hunter in the slot. I don't know. Either way, I want Manu to play a lot more this year. Played a good amount last season, but I mean, these are just all around great numbers. I just was expecting more speed with the archetype listed as that, but let's be real, this is probably going to be a tough one to get, but Definitely going to be all in on it, you know. Might as well. Andre Jordan Jr., the 4-star corner. Alright, 93 speed. Not great, but definitely solid. Definitely good enough to be out on that field for us. Out of Federal Way, Washington. Alright. I mean, man's 83, zone 85, so solid both ways there. It's good change of direction. Yeah, definitely would be a good pickup. In 5th though, so gonna have some work to do. Then a couple guys that don't have us listed, we'll see if we can possibly get in, but it's kind of one of those things with the portal where if they don't have any interest, you're probably screwed unless they just aren't getting looked at elsewhere. So I might have to go try a couple other guys, but we'll see what we can do here. This is kind of just a depth thing because I'll probably just end up having to start a corner or two at safety, or maybe Brazil, the 4-star, will just start right away along with Benivalu, which of course Benivalu's going to start. Like, he was basically a starter last year, so. Ooh, only 86 speed at that safety spot is not going to cut it, buddy. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Yeah, let's just not even entertain that. That's terrible. Alright, Messiah to home. Out of Newport News, Virginia. Okay, that's much better. We'll definitely take that for safety. Give him a scholarship, send the house, you know the drill. I still have an insane amount of hours to work with, so I'll probably see if I can maybe find a couple other edge rushers or safeties to look at, but I mean, honestly, there really isn't a whole lot for me to do in the portal. Like, after I looked at the team before I went to the portal, I was like, wow, we're like pretty loaded still. Like, other than safety and edge rusher, like, we really don't need anything. A couple of these guys weren't listed before. It looks like we are getting interest elsewhere, but I mean, it's 3-star guys that probably won't play right away or nothing like that, so I don't know. I'm not sure if I should even look at any of these guys. Garcia would have been a thing if JKS left, but don't gotta worry about that now. We'll add the corners to our board since they both have us listed first. They're both from the state of California, and you know, could possibly end up playing safety for us because you know how DBs are. We can kind of interchange them and whatnot. For whatever reason, Chuck Truman wasn't listed under transfers, so I had to go to the position so I can, you know, actually scout this guy and see what we're working with here. Hey, he's mostly power. I mean, 6'6" is tall as hell. 250 pounds, so a little lighter to be a D tackle, which we wouldn't even need, but I mean, I don't think this is great by any means, but I wouldn't mind adding it for depth. So we'll go ahead and throw him on the board. I did add a few more of these players, so we'll go ahead and check them out. Our powers seem solid. Coverages are pretty low to start, but at least has 90 speed. Only 83 speed for McDougal. Smell you later, kid. Good old Kennedy McDowell here. He's got some speed off the edge. Definitely seems pretty solid. I'll definitely offer him a scholarship. I ended up removing quite a few of them corners and safeties I had added because they were all just way too slow, man. And alright, Brinkley, let's see what you got. Okay. Pretty solid all around there. Definitely like that. Alright, down under 400 hours now. Gotta remember the high school guys as well. Some of them are ready for a visit, so we'll go ahead and schedule some of those. The main couple I want is Almus and McKivitz. We'll get them in and see what happens. Also Dogby, the center. So let's go ahead and get these scheduled. Ooh, 40 hours as Almus is from Houston, Texas. And unfortunately, the stuff he's interested in, we all have bad grades for. So that sucks. Why is coach stability a D, though? I don't get that. She made the playoff. I guess I'll go playing style, even though it's a C-. It's better than the D and D- options. So that sucks, but gotta get him in, right? Then McKivitz from Overland Park, Kansas, another 40-hour visit. At least he has the best options possible. Playing time, A+. There you go, attend the position meeting. And Dogby is from Santa Maria. So only 10 hours for this one. Playing time, A+, boom. Now I can only schedule one more of these guys. Couple of edge rushers, alright. Let's see. In first for both of them. Looks like it'll be no contest, so I might probably end up getting both either way. But who should be more important? So, he's a power rusher that has 80 speed. 79 power moves, but just 63 finesse. But has speed, so that's interesting. Where Ali is pretty much the same, just not as quick, but pretty similar across the board. Some more strength for Ali, though. We'll go ahead and schedule Ali's visit first. Out of River Rouge, Michigan. 40 hours. Boom. It says Rico Almus is a competitive visit, which... We'll go week 2 then for... I don't know. Let me see. I don't want to piss off old Rico. Oh yeah. This block shedding is only 60, but everything else is pretty dang good to start and has that gem. So yeah, we'll definitely go ahead and just schedule Ali for week 2. Alright, that's pretty much it for the update for the first week of the transfer portal here. Getting things set up again, not really targeting that many transfers. You know, our roster's still decently full, man. We didn't have as many players leave as I thought would try to. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens going forward. Hopefully we get some commits. Well, not really expecting any commits except for maybe from some high school guys. But other than that, we'll see if we can maybe get some more visits scheduled in week 2 and going forward. Right, headed into stage 2 of the off-season recruiting. Alright, love seeing that. And first for a lot of players in the top 5 should be able to schedule some visits. This sucks, only having a few weeks of the off-season recruiting and only being able to have 4 guys visit for each week, so it's kind of tough to navigate, but we'll figure it out. Alright, so looking at the transfers, we are first for a lot of these guys now. These top 3 are the main ones I want. I know we don't really need a receiver, but wouldn't mind adding a speedster. Now remember, I already looked at his scouting, and the speed was actually the lowest of, the catching and route running was the stuff that popped more for me here. And 91 speed isn't bad, but when I see speedster archetype, I thought we were getting another guy with 95 plus. But either way, that's beautiful catch ratings and route running. So, without Jordan King anymore, wouldn't mind having him slot into that spot, and then we'll basically just have the same guys playing, Daz James, Keon Grays, and then Manu being the 4th guy. But yeah, I'd love to add him as well. And he is from California, so only 10 hours for this visit. And he is visiting Arizona State, another user. Of course, that's the team that beat us in the playoffs. So looks like we'll be battling them for Isaiah Hunter here. But yeah, let's go ahead and schedule that for week 3, of course. Actually, shoot. Yeah, we're going to have to do that. I don't know what he's interested in yet. That's the thing that sucks about having to schedule it early. I don't know what he's interested in. I guess, transfers probably want playing time, so maybe that's it. Or maybe championship contender. Let's go ahead and go with that. It's worth a shot. Then Anthony Jones, edge rusher. He's only a 3-star, but still solid. So we'll go ahead and schedule that visit. From Las Vegas, Nevada, so it's going to be 15 hours. We'll also have him go week 3. Alright, corner Andre Jordan Jr. Definitely, have plenty of corners on the roster. But, we might have to move 1 or 2 to safety. And we lost Pickett as he hit the portal again. Was only here in Cal for a year. So still got Xavier Brown, still got Jayon Young. Amongst a couple other guys that'll be solid. But would not mind having Andre Jordan Jr. to start. But, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here. Schedule the visit. See, Arizona State went week 3 for Jordan. So should I go week 4? Now we'll just... Let me see who else is here. Yeah, we'll just schedule it for week 2. Might as well. Get it out the way. Powers is solid as well, just a 3-star, but wouldn't hurt to have the depth. I'm not going to schedule this visit though. We'll wait and see. See, Jalen Thomas, not bad, but only 87 speed. I do not like the looks of that, so we'll keep him on the board just in case type of thing, but not feeling great about that. Yeah, Fulton was only 86 speed, so we'll just go ahead and take him off. Let's see. See, some of these guys aren't listed under transfers. I don't know why it's glitched out like that. Because Chuck Truman wasn't listed on that last tab, but he's a transfer. But either way, another visit here. He's out of Fresno, California. It's like I have a lot of edge guys coming in, so no matter what, there's going to be competitive visits, unfortunately. But if anything, with Truman, there isn't really anyone else here, so I'll actually go ahead and save him for week 4 just because I don't want to hurt them other visits. Tolbert, one of the high school corners out of Oakland, California. Ooh, only 86 speed. Sheesh. I mean, everything else is solid, so he could end up developing solidly. It's just not super needed, as I have plenty of corners already that are developing. But, I mean, we'll leave him on the board. Might as well, but another high school guy, edge rusher, 6'6", 40 hours, as he's from Hueytown, Alabama. No matter what, it's going to be a competitive visit because, like I said, hella edge rushers. We'll just bring him in week 2, get it out the way. Hopefully Duke doesn't end up beating us out for Almas. Say that he visited us already and now visits Duke during this week, so it might be enough to jump us, but we'll see what happens. Alright, wasn't much going on in that second stage, so we'll move on to stage 3 here of the off-season recruiting. There we go, we get a commit out of the high school ranks with Adrian McKivitz, a 3-star safety. Might end up actually having to be an undersized linebacker because his speed was so low, but doesn't hurt to have the depth and could end up developing decently. But that's the only commit there so far, still in first for a lot of other players. But yeah, see, he's got the gem there, so like I said, couldn't end up developing better. Might even move into linebacker. Like I said, only 82 speed, that's too low, man. So, you know, maybe we'll move into linebacker early so that way he can develop as that. Just gonna have to put some weight on as he's only 200 pounds. But yeah, just too slow to play safety. Delhomme, one of the transfers. Looks like we're 3rd. Probably gonna end up going to Pitt, it looks like. But we'll stay in the race for now. Might as well, right? Newport News, Virginia. It's got 92 speed. I like that. So yeah, I'll go ahead and schedule this visit during week 3. Just not sure what he's interested in, so that kind of sucks, but we'll go with championship contender. Unfortunately, it looks like his ideal pitch is team player, and 2 of the grades we have for that are terrible, and the best one's C+, which isn't great. So, yeah, we'll just keep it on send the house. Reed Driscoll, another solid safety transfer target here, up in 3rd now. Still top 8, so I'm unable to schedule that visit yet. Yeah, he's not like super great by any means, but he's young enough to where he could develop solidly. 88 speed, not great, but like I said, this would be a developmental guy for sure. He's got 80 catching. Who knows? Maybe he's more of a receiver. Yeah, I figured Hunter would move us down to third after that visit with Arizona State, but he's visiting here during this week, so hopefully that flips us back into first, and hopefully it's that top 3 stage soon. Yeah, I would love to add him, man. That would be huge. I probably don't know his ideal pitch yet, but it's worth a look at least to see if I can hard sell. Just we only know one interest. This could be it. This is probably it. Primetime player, playing time, championship contender, and brand exposure. So I'll probably go back to that. It could be aspiration goals, which also is solid though, so maybe I should wait and see. It could be house call. Okay, there's still 3 different ones that it could be, and they're all good. I'll just keep it on send the house, and then we should at least know one of the other interests next week to where I can change that up. Looks like we should be getting the commit from the 3-star center Dogby pretty soon. We might end up with all 3 of these guys. I don't know if I really want all 3 though. If anything, that would be the odd man out. Whew, yeah. Definitely much more of a pass blocker. It's only 6 foot, so it's not like I can move him outside. The other guys are more well-rounded. Ernst would probably have to develop a little bit longer than Dogby, but they're both at least better than not. I'll probably end up taking Not off the board, but for now we'll keep him. I could schedule the visit for Ernst at least. But before I do that, I want to make sure there isn't any other more important ones that I would need to schedule. You only have a few slots each week. Only 4, which is kind of wild, I think. I think it should be like 5 or 6. Okay, so edge rusher, of course, is the main thing here. Don't really got to look at anything else. Maybe corners and running backs. I did add some running backs at the end of stage 2 just to try to get some more speed out there, because Wilkins we got coming in out of the high school ranks, but I plan on redshirting him, so we'll be left with 3 sophomores, 2 true sophomores and 1 redshirt sophomore, so wouldn't mind having another speedy back that has some experience. Not to start by any means, but just to have a guy to get in the mix. But we'll look at that after these edge rushers. So, do any need visit scheduled? So we're first for McDowell, second for Brinkley. They're both from Texas, so 40 hours for those visits. It's just we're in first for all these other guys. So I don't want to waste hours on the visits for these guys. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, McDowell might be worth it. Oh, shoot. Oh, they're both fast as hell. Okay, so if anything, those ones at the bottom are the ones I want. I mean, Rico from the high school ranks. Gem, come on. You know he's going to be a beast. It's just the main thing with him is we don't have good grades for the stuff he's interested in, because the gap between us and Duke was larger, and now it's very, very close. I hope we don't end up losing out on that. But either way, we should have some solid transfers picking up here. But yeah, I'll definitely go ahead and just schedule these visits, man. They got too much speed to pass up on. it just sucks. I have so many edge rushers visiting that there's going to be competitive visits no matter what I try to do. Yeah, we'll schedule McDowell for this week and then Brinkley for week 4. Might even be able to hit the hard sell here. Should be status seeker, but might be another. Ooh, it could be standard bearer, but I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. Yeah, we'll try status seeker. We'll see if that works. If not, oh well. Brinkley, another 40 hours. Like I said, they're both from Texas. He'll be week 4. Alright, everyone else is scheduled or already had their visit. I mean, we should come away with at least 2, maybe 3 or even 4 of these guys to where we'll have a good choice of who will be starting next year. You know, we lost a lot at that edge rusher spot. You know, Bush got drafted in the 3rd round in the NFL. Wayne was really good too, man. But alright, I actually saw a post the other day. I didn't even know TJ Bush Jr. was originally at Liberty and then transferred to Cal, and we had him in the last couple of years. He was a beast. Alright, let's go look at the running backs. I don't think I showed this from stage 2, but I had scouted a bunch of these guys and kind of just looking for some speed, some experience to add to that backfield. And one was Champ Hampton that I wanted to go after. I hit the wrong button, my bad. There we go. But yeah, I didn't even finish the scouting because all I wanted to see, I saw the 92 speed. That's good enough for me, man. But yeah, he should definitely be solid. Of course, he cares about proximity to home, which sucks because he's from Tennessee. And California's a little far from that, buddy. But we'll still go after him. Moved us all the way up to 1st. Only offer so far. It's just he's still top 8, so I can't even schedule the visit yet, which sucks. Might not even be able to. Because, you know, we don't have very many weeks here in the offseason, so we'll see what ends up happening there. Let's see. Is anyone top 5? No, none of them are top 5 at all. Mitch Booth had solid speed here. Yes, everyone else was like 87. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. I don't need no bruisers. But yeah, Booth. We'll see. We'll finish the scouting. 98 acceleration. Okay. 95 change of direction. So this guy's actual juke and spin move is terrible, but he can change direction well. His break tackle is not there, but hey. Maybe we'll just run away from everyone. Sidestep abilities there. I mean, it's worth a look. Like I said, I just need some depth there, just in case, and more speed if anything. Because, you know, if we got to go to Holyfield, I don't mind that, but he just ain't very fast. More of that bruiser back style. Alright. Not really much more to do with these backs. The other ones weren't bad by any means. It's just they just aren't fast enough, and that's the only thing I'm really looking to splash for here. And like, say if injuries got crazy or something like that, and I really had to, I could end up just throwing a running back, or I mean a receiver in the backfield to play that position if I had to, man. But I'm really hoping I get Champ Hampton. Like, let's be real. I definitely want to pick him up. It would definitely be nice. Alright, last thing, update on these corners. See, Tolbert only having 86 speed kills it for me, man. He'd probably be more of a free safety for me. Or if he played corner, we'd have to be all zone. Alright. Andre Jordan Jr. was one of the transfer targets. Definitely looks solid here as he moved us up to first after the visit. Does visit Arizona State during this week, but they're in third, so I think we should be okay. But yeah, 93 speed. Look at the 83 man, 85 zone, the 4-star junior out of Washington. But yeah, we gotta pick him up, man. We need this player. It'd be huge to pick him up, you know, after we lose DJ Pickett. Should have a good hard sell here. I think it's Sunday player. I mean, that would make sense, right? Ooh, it could be gamer. Ooh. I think it's Sunday player, though. Where'd that go? Yeah, let's go for it. Alright, you see Powers here as 90 speed. More of a man guy. Developmental piece, 3-star. I guess I can't really call him a developmental piece considering he's already a junior. Yeah, it's not very good. Yikes. Yeah, I'm just going to take him off. Because Kiki is a little slower, but he's out of high school. So I'm going to put more into Jabari here. And it looks like we should be able to get him. And if that's the case, I'll just get him and let him develop. Where Powers doesn't have time to. Yeah, we'll just take... I'm taking him off the board. Jalen Thomas, probably the same thing, man. I mean, he's sophomore, so has an extra year to maybe get a little better, but I mean, this isn't as bad. He's just not as fast. Ah, that's tough. I'm taking him off. We don't need all these guys. And man, barely cracking that top 40 this year. It's not like last season where we were top 10 the whole time in recruiting class and then ended up probably finishing 15th or 16th. Just had so many more commits last year. I just shot for the stars. You know, last season we ended up with quite a few 2-stars and 3-stars and no 5-stars and still had a good amount of 4-stars. But this year it was pretty much all 4-stars, then a couple 3-stars, and then 1 5. So just only 8 commits out of the high school ranks, man. So that's why we're so low. I definitely got to adjust for next season, where I'll definitely be bringing in a lot more freshmen. Here we go, heading into the final stage of the off-season recruiting, and then we'll get into the position changes, stuff like that. Ooh, no commits going into this week. That stinks. It's going to come down to the wire on a lot of these. Still in first for a lot of players, though, so that's good. Alright, so we got to check out the edge rushers, of course. Looks like we're in first for a lot of them, so we might end up getting too many of them, honestly. Kind of like last season when we ended up with a bunch of corners transferring here, but I mean, a few of these guys are out of high school, so they're more developmental or backup type of guys, where I'm hoping a couple of these 3-star juniors maybe will be good enough to play right away. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's looking pretty solid. Got Brinkley coming for a visit this week. Everyone else has us first, though. Yeah, so I mean, there ain't really nothing else really to update here with these guys. They've all visited. They're all pretty much set. Still in first for Andre Jordan Jr., the 4-star corner. You know, that was the main one I want here on the defensive side outside of that edge rusher spot, because you know he's got that 93 speed, 83 man, 85 zone. So looking good here, man. But yeah, it looks like we should be able to pick him up along with a couple more guys to help out on the back end. Tolbert again, he's out of high school and has low speed, so he's gonna have to develop, and most likely it'll just be more of a free safety. And Driscoll, the free safety, moves us up to first, so looks like we should be able to get him. His coverage ratings aren't great, but he could develop into, you know, decent backup piece or whatever. We just don't have many safeties now. They're all gone other than Benny Vala. We got Brazil coming in, of course. Nice 4-star out of high school. Not sure if he'll be ready to play right away, though. McKivitz, the 3-star, you know, he's only 200 pounds, but I'm probably going to have to move him to linebacker as he only has 82 speed, and that's just not going to get it done on the back end. So, yeah, he's going to have to put on some weight and go play linebacker. Delhomme has his 3rd, so probably not going to be able to get him. And Pitt has him visiting this week, so yeah, he's most likely going to Pitt. That's alright, though. No big deal. So center still looking good to add some guys here. Sucks when you end up, you know, having a few on the board to where, you know, in case one don't work out, you can go for the other. And it's like, it looks like they're all going to end up here. It's like, that's kind of not really necessarily what you want. That's just a little bit too much. And these are all guys out of high school as well, but we'll see how they develop and whatnot. Yes, sir. After the visit with Isaiah Hunter, moves us back up into first over Arizona State. So hopefully that's enough to get the commit from him. That'd be huge for our receiving core. Alright. And then the running backs. Remember Wilkins, I'm most likely redshirting. And then Popo's going to start. And, you know, Holyfield will be our bruiser. And then Priestley will definitely play some. He has some speed, so we'll give him a shot. It's just wouldn't hurt to have another speedy guy that has some experience already. And I think the main one I was looking at, yeah, Champ Hampton, the main one. And looks like we should be good to get him. Get him in for a visit. Championship contender. You know, he wants proximity to home. He's from Tennessee, so that stinks, but at least we got that good championship contender grade. So hopefully with that visit, I mean, we should be good. He don't have any other offers. I think we should be good to get him, right? I mean, I don't want to end up getting all these guys. Oh, shoot. It's just one of those things, like, I don't want to take him off the board and then miss out on one and then could have got the other guy or whatever the case may be. It's just tough. I'll go ahead and take Hawkins off at least. Not bad, but the lowest speed out of all of them. I just don't want to end up with too many players, man. But yeah, I'm probably going to go through. There really isn't too much more to do. I could schedule one more guy for a visit. Alright, when it comes to this running back stuff, like if I miss out on Hampton, then it is what it is. I'm not going to bring in these other guys. You know what? I'll leave Booth. Because Hampton is a junior. I'll leave Booth. I don't mind Gasper either. It's just 88 speed compared to 91. 98 Excel as well for Booth. 95 change of direction is wild, but it'd be different if it was more of a need. I'd leave them all on there. Alright, for center, of course we'll go after this John Dogby. We'll keep him there. But between these two, I can't go for both. And the run blocking is only a little bit lower for Knott than Ernst, who could also play guard technically. He's agile archetype and athlete. Knott's a pass protector archetype as a center, and I can't move him outside as he's 6 foot. But 83 pass block to start, 79 power and finesse there. I mean, I can't pass that up. I mean, I like the 83 impact to start for Ernst, but Knott is just more suited for what we'll be looking to do going forward. But yeah, man, it's just... I mean, I don't mind either one, and I think they'll both end up developing solidly. It's just... it doesn't make sense for me to bring in all of them, man. It just doesn't make sense. I'll end up over the roster limit and have to ask people to leave, all sorts of stuff. But, yeah, I just got to get the number down a little bit. I think 25 is probably solid. I might take off, like, 1 or 2 of these edge rushers. There's just so many of them. I'm actually just going to leave them all on there. Screw it. If we get them all, fine. They'll have to battle it out. And a couple of the guys definitely won't be, starting right away by any means. But a couple of them will have a shot at starting. Yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about the rest. So that's going to do it, man. That's going to do it for this off-season recruiting, and we'll get the, final class next time. And then, not next time, but here in a sec. It's, I've been having to log in every day to do this because, I got to wait on everyone else. It's online Dynasty. It's just one of those things. I can't do it at my own pace, so just kind of piecing it all together as we go throughout the week, and then we'll see, what players we end up with, or what our roster looks like for year 3, and get into, who are redshirting and whatnot, position changes, stuff like that, and order out that depth chart and stuff, get ready for the year. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap things up for the recruiting portion anyways. Alright, let's go ahead and see what additions we have to the team for year 3. Dogby at center. Chuck Truman, edge rusher. Another one with Anthony Jones. Let's go. We got an Isaiah Hunter, the receiver. And our receiving core is disgusting, man. Let's go. Frank Ali, edge rusher out of River Rouge, Michigan. Remember, some of these guys are out of high school still, and then quite a few transfers as well. Well, not a lot, really. Not as much as last season, but another center, Travion Knott. Rico Almus, another edge rusher. Let's go. Big-time cornerback addition, Andre Jordan Jr., the 4-star. Helps replace DJ Pickett. Another edge rusher. Kevin Tolbert, solid corner out of Oakland that should develop solidly. Champ Hampton, let's go. Solid experience at the running back spot with some speed back there. Another corner. Jeez Louise. Reed Driscoll, the free safety. All right. Okay. So we ended up landing quite a few players there. I did miss out on one of the edge rushers that I wanted, but we still ended up with plenty, so it's fine. I think the main one was McDowell here. Ends up going to LSU. No big deal. Brinkley goes to North Texas. That's fine. We ended up getting plenty of edge rushers, so we'll be alright. Delhomme, the strong safety. I didn't think I was going to be able to get him. We were in third. Ends up going to Pitt. But yeah, we end up getting a pretty decent class compared to what it could have been. Because I didn't have very many commits heading into the offseason. Just want to see where I ended up with the top classes. 2 users end up in the top 5. You know, that's big time to try to get that elite recruiter stuff. I've been talking about it. But yeah, I just shot for the stars this year and just missed out on a lot of 5-star and 4-star guys that I wanted, and kind of overloaded on that stuff. But hey, we still end up with the 23rd ranked class, which isn't terrible. 21 total commits. It's 1 5-star, 7 4-stars, and 13 3-stars. No 2-stars this year, which was a bold emphasis of mine. So okay, so we end up with 21, which I think that's how many I had last year too, right? Yeah, last season we had 7 4-stars, 8 3-stars, and 6 2-stars for 21 total. And now we end up with 21. 1 5-star, 7 4-stars, 13 3-stars. So somehow last year we were ranked higher though. Last year's class was like 16th. That's a little bit odd, but either way, I'll definitely, that's one of my emphases going into the next season will be to get a really good recruiting class out of high school. We're getting to that point where a lot of our main players are going to be gone. I mean, a few of them are gone now that graduated last season, but this season there's going to be even more. So we got to be prepared. And we are at the position changes spot too, so few athletes here. Hugh Wilkins most likely going to be a running back, and then Kevin Durant, let's go, going to be a tight end at 6'4", 230, pure possession. Rico Almus going to be an edge rusher there, power rusher at 6'5", 294. Love seeing that. The thing that sucks with position changes is it's before the progression or whatever, before your players, the training and stuff, to where your players attributes go up and whatnot. So you got to keep that in mind, that some of these players will go up. And what do you know? Isaiah Hunter ends up actually being the highest rated receiver on the team now. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how I end up doing the depth chart, but it's probably going to be James number 1, and then Hunter and Grays I'll probably switch back and forth in the slot and the outside spots just to kind of see who does better where. It's just James and Grace have way more speed, where Hunter is very more well-rounded, has much better catching than James and Grace. So I might have to utilize that on the outside. But like I said, it'll probably be moved around a lot. James will be on the outside mostly. And then Manu mixed in there as well, just like he was last season. Hamper maybe even, possibly. It's just... He had a couple drops in that first game last year, and he ended up riding the bench the rest of the way, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll see if these other guys end up developing decently or not. But you know, we got some solid depth. It's just, you see it, 4 seniors at the top. Manu, just not a speedy guy. So once these guys are gone, it's like we're gonna have to add at least 1 or 2 guys with speed to complement Manu, who I'll probably end up having in the slot. But I don't know, we'll see what ends up happening. He's a contested specialist, so it just depends who else ends up there. But we're looking years ahead now. Let's worry about now. But yeah, this is going to be interesting to do with this receiving room. Probably one of the best in the country. You know, Daz James coming off a record-breaking season, broke the Cal school record for most receiving touchdowns in one season. I got the 4 QBs. I'm not going to do too much with this. We're really mostly just worried about changing positions. And remember, like I said, these guys' overalls are going to go up once they hit the training and stuff. So Hampton going into his senior year, Like I said, he's going to have the most speed, so expect him to play a lot. But I think I'm probably going to start Popo. But we'll see what ends up happening. You know how it goes. I always end up playing like 2 or 3 backs a good amount. Holyfield, he's going to keep being that bruiser back that he was before. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about that stuff. We'll do that when I go over the depth chart and everything, finalize that to start the next episode when we, get ready for the first game and get our recruiting board set up for year 3 and all that good stuff. But right now we're just focused on position changes. So tight ends, there's 3 of them here. They're all seniors now, all 74 overalls. Like I said, they'll still go up with those training results. But let's just go to these athletes, get this out the way. So Durant. Oh, he could be a 71 overall fullback. All right. Oh, he's actually a solid linebacker as well. Huh. I mean, I recruited him to be a tight end. That 3 overall isn't really a huge difference, and we need him at tight end. We got 3 seniors that are all going to be gone, so he's going to be who we depend on going forward after that. I just want to look at, I was not so, they listed him as tight end. So I was kind of surprised to see those defensive spots up there. So let's just at least look at it just in case. But he's got star development. So wherever I put him, he'll end up developing pretty good. It's weird. I can't look at him any further. I can't open up his player card. That's weird. And it's only showing me offensive stats, of course, or attributes. Where's the defensive stuff? That's weird. Huh. I mean, I'm not even going to waste too much time, man. We got him in to play tight end, so that's what he's going to do. Let's go. Good old Kevin Durant. And then Rico Almus, 84 speed off the edge will be nice. So 70 overall to start, not bad for a 3-star. Impact development, could be better, but not bad. So I just want to see. I guess it doesn't really matter what side we've set. I just want to see, just so we have some balance here. A ton more guys listed on the right side. I might switch one of these guys to the left between Ali and Tialiava. See, Ali only 215 pounds as a power rusher. Want a little more speed with being that light, man. He's probably just going to develop into a rotational piece, though, you know what I'm saying? We'll move him to the left side. And then I'll also set good old Rico Almus to that left side. Boom. And then Hugh Wilkins, like I said, most likely going to be running back unless something screams at me here. Okay, he could be a decent DB. But not necessarily the type that I want. So yeah, we'll just go running back. Starts as a 73 overall. Love seeing that. But yeah, he's going to be getting redshirted this first year. And that's something else I'll probably go over next time when I finalize the depth chart. We'll get the red shirt set as well. Let me think. If anything else, let's just look at the O-line. Make sure this is looking solid. Okay, so I want Lincoln on the right side. The 5-star true freshman. Our first ever 5-star recruit with head coach Marshawn Lynch here at Cal. Yep, we're definitely moving him to the right side. Now, Williams will probably develop to be around that 79 overall as well. So he might end up starting on the left side. Because Lang we recruited as a 4-star guard last year. And I moved him out to tackle. I might end up playing him at guard this year. And then move him back out to tackle after Morrow is done. Because he'll end up being probably a 78 or 79 for his senior year. So we'll probably start him. But yeah, Lincoln's definitely going to start right away. Day 1. Actually, what am I talking about? Morrow? See, I can only start one of Morrow or Williams. So whoever ends up developing better out of that will start on the left side. And then Lincoln is going to start on the right side. Wait, Okay. Yeah, we'll start him on the right side. Just because I'm thinking blind side. And Sagapolutele is a lefty. So, that's my thought process there. I do want Lang to play, though. So he might end up starting at right guard because I want Forrest to start at left guard. I ended up not redshirting him last year because he was kind of on special teams on the line, and he ended up rotating in a little more than what Lang did. Lang I redshirted after he played 4 games. But yeah, Hasenhuddle will definitely be the starter at center now. He should be a much higher overall, but it's just unfortunately one of those players where I got screwed on this skill caps here. He's got 14 points, and I can't move anything up. So, just because I moved him from guard to center, which makes no sense. That's something you should be able to do without any sort of penalty. I don't know if the game's just broken there or what, but if anything, maybe I should have left him at guard and moved one of, maybe move Forrest into center, but it's too late now. But yeah, the thing is I don't want Owen starting. He was our worst O-lineman last year by a long shot. All the other 4 starters were seniors and have graduated and moved on, so he's now the senior. But it's probably not going to start. He's got 50 speed, man. That's just not good enough. Unless I see some crazy training results that help. We're probably looking at Lincoln at the right tackle spot, and then either Williams or Morrow on the left side, and then Lang I'll move into guard on the right side with Forrest on the left. Hasenhuddle at center. But yeah, these 2 that we brought in between Knott and Dogby, I think I'm gonna move one to guard. I'll move Knott out to guard here just so we have more depth in each spot. And he's actually a higher overall at left guard. So it goes from 67 to 69. Love seeing that. Let's go. But yeah, we just want a little bit of balance there. Yeah, Forrest should be the starter. Yeah, I don't know why I keep on trying to talk about that stuff. We'll figure out all that depth chart next time. I'm just trying to get the positions laid out. Alright, so that should be good for the O-line. Good at the edge spots. We brought in Jones through that portal. Should be good enough to start right away. Then on the left side, Tyson Ford most likely. It's just, he's a bigger guy, and he might be better off at D tackle. You know what I'm saying? It's just we're already set at that position. So depending on like who I'm playing against and whatnot, he might not play that much, or I might just have to move him inside. And then Kennedy, he ain't got that much speed either. Almus, he's just needs at least 1 year of development. And then, he's got that speed to get off the edge. Even as a power rusher. But 84 speed, much bigger difference than these guys. Okafor, 82 speed. He probably won't start this year, probably more so next year. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what I do with that edge spot. We're set at D tackle. Amato, the 4 stars, a 76 to start off. I love seeing that. Unfortunately, you're going to be getting redshirted, man. I do not want to lose a year of eligibility with him. He's got elite development too, man. He's going to end up being really freaking good, but there's just no reason to have him waste a year of eligibility when Wynn and Johnson are going to be leading the way at these spots. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty set at D tackle now for at least the next few years. I'm really not sure what I'm doing at the middle linebacker spot. Because, we got Sam, Mike, Will, but really all these guys are basically the Mikes because the way we run our defense. But you see Jemmy Shembo, the freshman, starts at 73. The other one, Atagwe, is at 72. So, yeah, probably not going to start right away. Just kind of depends on how these other guys develop. Sandu's probably going to end up being the guy that plays. I don't know. Chuck Gage, I really like him. I don't know. I'm not sure who it's going to end up being, but I'm basically looking at this to see if maybe one of these guys would be great at the edge spot. Ooh. That's not what I was expecting. Oh, yeah, that's fine. We'll leave that. I mean, these guys are just seniors, so I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I guess I'll look to see. Yeah, it's not. I might have to change up the defense, honestly. No, we're good. Let me not overthink it. We'll be fine. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but he'll be a couple overall higher, and then should help with the training as well. A little more fine-tuned there for Chuck Gage. Yeah, it'll be him or Osandu. They're both impact devs, so I mean, they'll both play, but you know, when I play against users, I got to get more speed on the field, so we usually end up with just all DBs instead of linebackers, but we'll see how it ends up playing out. Then, of course, I got to look at these safeties, because we end up with Hayward and McKivitz. McKivitz has that elite dev, man. It just sucks he's only 82 speed. Like, I think he's only 200 pounds. I'm probably going to have to move him to... See, it's just... I'm just going to leave him at strong safety, and I'm just going to try my best to get his speed up whenever I can. And he'll probably just end up in the box anyways when I end up playing him in a couple of years. Definitely won't be the first couple. Definitely getting redshirted, but... let's see... Now, one of these guys is probably going to have to go to strong. You know, Brazil's coverage specialist, so he'll stay at free. Baini Valu, I'm probably going to move to strong. Andre Jordan Jr. is at 83 overall. Love seeing that. So, I mean, we got plenty of corners. I'll probably end up moving one of them over to safety. I wasn't expecting Brazil to be a 76 off rip. Thought he'd be like a 73 or 74, so I'm definitely loving seeing that. Because I wasn't really counting on him playing right away, where now I think I can count on him to play right away. Alright, let's see what Marvin is at strong. It's the same overall. We'll go ahead and switch it. Might as well. He should end up at 80 overall for year 2 as well. Let's see. I gotta move at least one corner over to free safety. Probably Tolbert, who's got the best zone. Maybe I'll do Singer. Yeah, Singer would be a couple overall points better. And let's just compare to see. It just doesn't really matter. Let's be real. It's just, I don't want 700 corners listed, especially when I have a few seniors at the top that are going to be graduating. So I'm going to have to, well, I guess I won't really have to recruit a heavy this year, because we still have plenty of players that'll be able to start the next season, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Who's the other one? Tolbert? Let's see. Oh, he's actually better as a corner. We'll leave it. I'll go ahead and move Singer. He was part of last year's class. Got redshirted, and we'll move him over to free safety and let him develop there. That's probably everything that I'll do, though, as far as position changes go. It should be set. We'll have experience at corner and not so much at safety. I mean, Benny Valu played a crap ton during his freshman season. It's just he only started, I think, 8 games, which, I mean, I say only, like that ain't a lot for a true freshman, but his role changed a few times throughout the year. I was just kind of figuring out what to do with the safeties and stuff, but yeah, I think we're pretty set, man. Should be good. Hopefully our kicker has more power this year. And then Kern, our new punter, because was that Honor or Honor? I don't even know how the hell to say the other guy's name, but he graduated, so moving on to Michael Kern now. But alright, that's it for position changes. We can't see schedules yet, so I guess since I'm here, I'll go ahead. I got 20 coaches points, do the upgrade. You know I want this strategist here, but to get that, you gotta win 4 bowl games, so that sucks that I'm 0 for 2 to start. And then spend 50 in tactician, which is right here, so I have 20 to purchase that. And we can web those together and see that to get scheme guru. If we spend 50 in this and then win 8 top 25 games, which we're already at 5, we'll be able to upgrade that. Okay, that's nice to see. But mainly I did that to get strategist, and it should help with this. It's going to take a few years now, because I got to win 4 bowl games, and I haven't been able to do that yet. Haven't gotten one, so we'll make sure that we get one this year. Of course, we got those playoff expectations with all the players returning. A lot of questions on the O-line, though. Defensively, lost a couple key players that were all Americans, but even a draft pick with T.J. Bush Jr., the edge rusher. So we're replacing a lot of important spots, but still have some very star players. Possible. Maybe Heisman candidates in JKS and Daz James. You never know. Maybe Percy Popo. We'll have to see what happens with the offense this year. Maybe we switch some things up a little bit. But yeah, we'll definitely looking to get this strategist thing next. We've seen recruiter. There's nothing really more I can do. The only thing left is for the specialist, which I'm not worried about. And then running backs, I can bump that up some, but I don't need any running backs for a couple of years, so I'm not that worried about it. Main thing I've said, like I said, I'm worried about is the elite recruiter stuff, which gotta have 2 top 5 classes, man. So I gotta do much better with that high school recruiting next season, so that way we can get this unlocked. But until then, we'll work on tactician to get strategist. Alright, so I'm actually going to go ahead and end the episode there. So the offseason's pretty much done now, but we still have a couple more things to do. It's just next time, all that will just get tied into me setting up the recruiting board for year 3, and we'll get our depth chart set up and, look at, who we're going to redshirt and stuff like that, get the roster all finalized, all that good stuff. And, we'll check out, top 25 rankings, Heisman Watch, all that sort of stuff, the preseason talk. And then we'll dive into our first game of year 3 here in the Marshawn Lynch era at Cal. So, yeah, after a rough, 6-7 first year, we went crazy in year 2. Going 11-3, ACC champions. Ended up losing in the first round of the playoffs in a heartbreaking double overtime loss to Arizona State. Indiana ended up winning the Natty over Texas. So Mizzou won it in year 1, Indiana in year 2. So that's a SEC and Big Ten school. So now hopefully someone from the ACC or Big 12 represents here in year 3. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this long off-season video. Just doing all that recruiting. I know a lot of people like to see it all. Some people don't really care for it. But either way, we got to put it up. You got to know what's going on with the roster going into the next season. But we'll go over, kind of finalize everything to start next time and, get into some game action again. But yeah, thanks everyone that's been tuning into this series. Appreciate it a lot. Make sure you follow the links in the description on Twitter and Twitch. I update on Twitter when I go live and stuff. So we'll be live next time when we get everything going. But yeah, that'll do it. hope you enjoyed. Hit that like button for me and subscribe if you're new. It's much appreciated. Have a nice day. Peace.